Dionne Webster-Cox with Webster Law Office and also Protect the P.
Protect the P.
And who are you?
I am Robert Ingalls with Law Pods.
Law Pods. And we are where?
Trial Lawyers University in Vegas. Hashtag TLU Live.
TLU 2024. I was here 2 years ago.
I was here 2 years ago as well.
Really?
When it was, we did some recording for the Elevate podcast right outside. It wasn't here, it was at Mandalay Bay.
It was at Mandalay Bay. It really was. So now, I told you about my podcast, Protect the P, and you said, well, tell me about it. What is it about? And I asked you, I said, we started talking about, I gave you a history, and you gave me some history, and then I asked you, I said, what P are you trying to protect?
So I like this, and I had a second to think about it, and it's hard because you're like, well, what? I know the things I care about, the things that are deeply important to me. And then I had to figure out a P word for those. And it's my precious girls.
Precious girls. And they got to protect their, you're right.
Yes, but they're everything to me. And my precious girls are more, I have 2 daughters, but it's more than that. It's my wife. She's one of my girls. It's my mom. She's one of my girls. I have 4 sisters. They're my girls. Like, those are my people in the world. And so when I think about protecting my girls, like, it's my girl tribe. Like, I'm the only boy of all my, with all those sisters. And so having 2 daughters felt very natural to me.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So what steps do you take to protect your precious tribe?
I mean, one of the biggest steps is being present.
Being present, another P.
Another P. I think it's underrated. It's a little bit boring.
Right.
But one of the things is, in my mind, I don't always say it out loud because I don't think they need to hear it, but Daddy comes home.
Oh, that's important.
Daddy comes home. It doesn't, like, you can set your watch by the fact that Daddy will be at home. Daddy does not, you can count on it.
Oh.
They need to know that, though. They need to know that there's going to be consistency.
Absolutely.
They know, if I'm not there, they know where I am. And they know when I'm coming home because they need consistency in their life. The world is chaotic enough, and my wife needs that too. She needs to know that she has a man that's going to be there to help her, to stand by her, to protect her when she needs it, and have consistency. And so just being present and being consistent is one of the best ways because it gives them that space to feel safe where they can grow and learn without having to be because when you're under stress all the time and you have inconsistency, it can be really hard to develop yourself.
Absolutely. How do you maintain your presentness? You see what I'm saying? How do you keep your sanity? How do you protect your peace so that you can protect your precious cargo, your precious tribe?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I have to work on a lot because life is hard. It just is. And just when you think you kind of got it figured out, a curveball comes. But the things that I try to do all the time to just keep it together are exercise. Like, I have to exercise. When I'm not doing that, I feel terrible. And always growing and learning. Like, I'm always, sometimes almost too much. Like, I'm always feeling like I don't even read fiction anymore because I feel like I'm losing time to optimize myself.
Right.
I'm reading a business book, I'm reading a parenting book, I'm reading a personal development book. I'm going with my therapist so I can sort out my shit so my shit doesn't become their shit.
Right.
And trying to figure out how to manage, like, the way I show up. I have a really shitty day. That's not their shitty day. And how do I decompress from that and not throw it on top of them? And that's hard. And I fail at that a lot. And so part of my development is learning how to deal with that stuff better so I don't cause them trouble.
Right.
And so I can show them how to try to deal with their stuff too. Because I also don't hide. I'll tell my daughters, Daddy had a tough day. I had a tough day today. I'm not dealing with it very well. And I want you to know that. I want them to see that I'm not just tough.
Right.
Like, I don't just stuff it all down because, I mean, that's the old generation.
Absolutely.
You don't say anything, you stuff it down, you kill yourself when it gets too hard, right?
Right. No, we're not doing that.
Like I tell them, things are hard because I want them when shit gets hard to go, oh, right, things are supposed to be hard.
And we can deal with it.
We can talk about it.
One day at a time.
There's nothing wrong with it.
And you know what? And I always say this, and I'm speaking here. I read a book, and I can't even remember the name of the book, but it was profound. Depression is worrying about the past. Anxiety is worrying about the future. 2 things, 2 days I can't do anything about. I can't do anything about yesterday, and I can't do anything about tomorrow.
Yeah.
I can only do something about today.
Yeah.
And how do I handle today? So now what you're doing is you're setting the example for what a dad is, what a man should be for when your girls go out and they find a mate, and when their mate finds them, what the expectation to be, right?
I want to set the bar high.
Exactly.
I want them to demand respect.
Oh, absolutely.
Because to not get it would feel wrong.
Absolutely.
Like that's not That's not how a man talks to me.
That's right.
Like,
That's right.
and I don't put my hands on my daughters in a violent way ever. I don't pop them. I don't swat them. I am a man. I am a full-grown man, and a man doesn't hurt you.
Right.
A man is large. A man protects you. A man does not hurt you. And I want that to be in their brain. A man, that's not what he does. And I touch them out of love. I'm kind to them. I use kind words with them. And when I don't, I apologize and I tell them why, and I tell them what I'm going to do to try to be better going forward.
You know what? It's interesting that you say that, because when it came to my daughter, I said I didn't want to hit you or spank you because I didn't want you to think that's what love was.
Right.
I don't want you to think, oh, she loves me, because I tell her every morning. I said, every morning I tell you, I love you, good night. I said, good morning, I love you, and good night, I love you. Because I want you to know, at the end of the day, Mommy loves you.
And if you never hear another word from me,
you know I love you.
That'll be the last thing you heard.
Yep, that I love you, and I care about you. So I've never hit her because I didn't want her to think, here's the same woman who tells me she loves me night and day, but now she's hitting on me. I don't want some man to do that to her.
Right. Baby, I only hit you because I love you.
Right. No, and that's bullshit, right? And I told her, I was like, listen, if anybody touches you, it only gets worse. And it starts with a push. It starts with an unkind word, a mean word. It's not going to get any better. So you got to cut that.
Yeah, you don't tolerate it.
You can't do it. And it's the exact same thing. When I'm divorced, and when my daughter and I went to move in, just she and I said, I'm making this promise to you. You will never wake up and there'll be a man over your head or anywhere here. And I've maintained that. There's never been a man in my house I haven't dated whatsoever.
Wow.
I haven't, because I said I'm dedicated to you. Because I have to be the woman I want her to be, right? And that means we're not running men in and out of here. We're not doing that. You should have done whatever the fuck you was going to do before you had them kids.
Right. Okay? It's not your life anymore.
That's
it's really how it is.
Her. And that's what I've done. Now she is graduating from high school and she'll be off to college.
So you got a man coming soon.
I'm coming soon. Now, wait a minute. You've got a podcast for attorneys. You got to talk about that.
Well, so we have a podcast agency for attorneys, where if an attorney wants a podcast to market their firm, we make it for them. Because making podcasts are hard. I started a podcast at my law firm in 2016, and it was really hard, but I loved it. And over a period of years, attorneys started asking me to help them, and that turned into a business. And now I work for some of the biggest law firms in the world. Like Skadden Arps is our biggest client. That's the 5th largest law firm in the world by revenue. Wow. And they trust me. They would have shredded my resume if I'd have applied for an attorney job. Like, yeah. Like, I went to a bottom tier law school. They would have been like, yeah, get out of here. But now I write marketing copy that firm uses.
Isn't that something?
Because I found my niche.
Right.
I found the thing I am uniquely good at. And now I get to work with these companies and they trust me to help guide them in this area, and that's just, it's overwhelming. I have so much gratitude for that.
It's a beautiful thing, and you are truly blessed. You are
am.
Blessed and highly favored. And this is Law Pods. Lawpods.com?
Lawpod, of course. Like I'm going .net or something.
Okay, so wait a minute. You're on Instagram?
Oh yeah. If you type Law Pods anywhere, you'll find us.
Okay.
Yep, at Law Pods.
And do you still have your own podcast?
So we have some podcasts. They're not publishing right this second because we're starting original content for trial lawyers.
Okay.
We're starting a podcast network that you'll be able to find at lawpods.com. and it's going to have the Trial Lawyers University podcast, Trial Lawyer Nation, the Colorado Trial Lawyer Connection, the Just Verdicts out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with Brendan Louboutin. Harry Plotkin and Dan Kramer are starting a jury selection podcast that's going to be on the network. And we're doing original content, one on voir dire and one where attorneys are it's going to be called True Closings. Attorneys deliver real closing arguments from cases that they've won.
And you know what I think? If this is going to be a network, I think you need something that also goes to that balancing of what we have to do as attorneys.
Yeah.
Because we have to have that work-life balance.
Oh, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, my work week starts on Sunday. It is Sunday through Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday, I used to not work at all. I would go to my personal trainer. After I finished with him, I would go shopping, get whatever I was going to get, go get the car wash. I would get home by 12:30, and I was in the bed.
Yeah.
For the rest of the day. Did not take a single phone call. Now I'm taping a podcast. Now I'm doing a little bit more. But my day starts, and I needed that just one day to not do anything.
You do. It's
that
important.
That was so important for me, okay?
You got to recharge.
And we've got to, as attorneys, because it never stops.
If you don't let it.
If you're working the way you want to work, and you're making that money you want to make, it ain't stopping.
It can be hard.
And you gotta be there. And unfortunately, at least for me, I'm a control freak. I know this. So I want to be able to let some things go. I pray to do that, but sometimes it's difficult.
Yeah.
And even if I'm there on Sunday, just piddling around, looking at this, that's what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think all of us need to understand that our very first thing is that we've got to have our peace of mind. We got to be able to do that. And if we don't, we'll be out here going sideways, and that's what we don't want.
We'll pay for it at some point.
Always. I appreciate you.
No, thank you. It was lovely.
Was this great?
Yes, that's why I come to these things. It's to meet the people.
This is what protect the people.
Protect the people.
I don't know, man. I'm not really thinking about protecting shit. I'm thinking about building shit.
I'm recording this. I have a podcast. The name of the podcast, Howie, is Protect the P. And I want you to tell me, how do you protect your P? What P are you trying to protect, and how do you protect it?
I don't know.
Well, how many words start with P?
I'm trying to think. It's very rare for me to have a blank stare at a camera.
I know, you're always talking.
I am always talking, so it's very hard to. I was caught off guard.
You know what? Can I help you?
Sure.
So this is what I do. I have to protect my peace. And how do I protect my peace? I protect my peace by getting up every morning and I meditate. Then from there, I journal. When I'm at home, I make my bed. Then I go and exercise. I do some stretching. And that way, because before I leave the house, I've done some good things. I've gotten some things accomplished, right? And then I feel good about the rest of the day. Now that's how I protect. So one of the peace that I protect is my peace.
So, thank you.
You're welcome. Get your mind out the gutter.
I would say that I protect my privacy.
Okay.
And being somebody that is on the road a lot, meeting a lot of people, work with a lot of people, talk with a lot of people, sometimes it's hard to have a private life. So I always try to keep what goes on in my private life different than in my business life.
Okay.
Until I feel like I have reached some type of boundary or place with my relationship with people that I work with, that I can include them into my personal life. So what I always say is I always appreciate in business the people that send me business, but what I appreciate more is the relationship and the friendship that is provided with working together. And then when I get to that certain point, I'm able to let my guard down in that privacy and let them into who I am as a person. So that would be protecting my P and my privacy and who I am.
How do you protect your P?
How do we protect our P? What do you mean? What do you mean by P?
What do you mean by P? I just said P. What P are you trying to protect, and how do you protect it?
We are trying to protect our people.
People.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. And
So-
how do you protect your people?
We protect the people that we work with and that we partner with, because we want to create long-term partnerships, which is another really important key. And we are focused on longevity and making sure that anybody that we work with is going to see meaningful results, and for them that is profit, which is another important
P.
So
she's the P person.
I am the P person.
She's the VI. She's the
I'm the
VP of the company.
She's the VP.
I am the VP of Optimize.
I code PHP.
Okay, there we go.
But we're really about protecting our people, because
Okay.
they are trusting us to help them grow their business and to create more clients, create more opportunities. So we will only work with people that we know we can help in the long run.
Why don't you start off by introducing yourself, and then you're going to tell us what P you are trying to protect.
Well, good morning. My name is Rod Easley, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Oliver Law Firm in Rogers, Arkansas. I have been asked to share what P am I protecting, and the answer for me is it's peace, and the peace I'm talking about is what's in my heart. So Proverbs 4:23 says, "Guard your heart, for that is the wellspring of life." And we think about guarding something, it may be that we need to keep something in, and it may be that we need to keep something out. Sometimes that something is coming back and forth, and we need to check it each time it moves in and out of our heart. For me, I try to keep out anxiety, fear, jealousy, pride, but what I try to keep in is joy and peace and love. And that's hard. It's easy to say, and sometimes it's hard. So what am I protecting? That starts with a P. I'm trying to protect peace in my own heart, because again, it's the wellspring of life.
What P are you trying to protect, and why?
What P am I? Ham Sam.
How many-
Strategic.
Okay, Sam, what's strategic?
What P am I trying to protect and why?
Well, how many words start with P? Okay, not the one you thinking of, because clearly, what do you mean?
The only word I'm thinking is profit.
Okay, well then how do you do that? There it is.
I would say we're trying to protect profit, maybe from your profit for your law firm by helping add zeros to your caseload by finding former employees.
So that's how you protect my profit,
Yeah.
because you want to increase my gross.
Yep.
And if you increase my gross, that means whatever expense you add is going to be well worth it.
Yep.
Right? So you're going to bring me a return on my investment, because
Yep.
you're an investment.
Yep.
So you want to protect my profit.
Yep. There
Isn't
you go.
that
You said
nice?
it better than I did.
See? I've got a podcast. It's called Protect the P. Tell me, what P are you trying to protect, and how do you protect it?
The P that we are trying to protect.
No, you. What P are you trying to protect, and what P are you trying to protect? Protect the P.
Protect the P.
Is the P a figurative P, or is it like?
Or is it whatever you think it is?
It's there are many words that start with a P.
Oh, it has to start with a P.
Yes, it's protect the P.
Well, look. So Roger practices, right?
Yes.
In Toronto. So his tagline is lawyers for the people.
So you're trying to.
So P to us is for people, because this is really to protect them from their own devices.
From themselves.
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Protect the people.
What P I'm trying to protect? Profit.
Profit, and how do you do that?
So how we do that is by helping businesses grow their business, helping them to be profitable. Because many times individuals are so focused on running the day-to-day and trying to get sales, and they don't focus on the ins and outs of the business.
Right.
And strategizing and figure out how to grow the business and how to make it profitable.
What P are you trying to protect?
I protect my people, whether it be my clients or my family.
And how do you do that?
Well, I advocate for my clients the best way I can to protect them from bad insurance companies, and I try to protect my family and keep them safe in any way I can.